What is up guys, JpCharisma here, and in today's video we are going to be doing part 2 of Sebring prep. So what I mean by part 2 is we're going to be doing the brake fluid and the clutch fluid. We're going to be replacing all those fluids. This is my first time ever doing this. I'm doing this alone with no help from any friends or anything. So this pump is going to pump out all the extra fluid, and for the clutch fluid we're going to pretty much just kind of gravity bleed it. I've never done this before, like I said before, so hopefully I can get this all done. Today is actually, for me, it is Friday, and then tomorrow will be Saturday, so that'll be my last day of prep. So I'm gonna try it and go ahead and get the brake fluid and the clutch fluid done today, and then Saturday I might dip into my oil cooler so that way everything will be good. I'm pretty much just going to be putting this pump, it is a Motive Products Power Bleeder pump, on the brake reservoir. I read on the forums that pretty much they pump like 10 psi just to see if there are any leaks or anything in the system. So I'm gonna go ahead, take this out, this cap, and then there's like a filter cap in there. Also, remember that brake fluid is very corrosive and it can actually tear through your paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a towel, place it in there so that way if there's any extra spills, it's on the towel and not my paint, so it's not messing up my engine bay. Okay, because this is like corrosive material and stuff, I have decided to get some gloves. We're gonna go ahead and put this towel like all up in this, so that way there's no drippage. But, alright, so got the towels in there, there's a filter in there, I'm gonna get that out. Hopefully I can get it out. It's being a pain in the butt. We got the freaking cap off. Okay, cool. Now that we got this filter cap off here, now what we're gonna do is put this pump power bleeder cap over this. Alright, I think it's on there nice and tight. Now all I gotta do is tighten this. So now that we have both things tightened properly, we're gonna pump this to 10 psi. Okay, neither of these are on there properly. I don't know what I did wrong. I guess this isn't on there properly. Yeah, that came off pretty easy. Alright, there we go. Now it's on there, right? Okay, it's at 10 psi. And now I'm gonna go ahead, check the car, make sure there's no leaks anywhere. Alright. I just checked the car, I didn't see anything. No leaks on this side either, so I'm gonna go ahead and release this pressure. Alright, now that that's over, we're gonna fill this up with about 2 quarts of brake fluid. I'm gonna be using Motul 5.1. It is a 4-dot brake fluid, but it's 5.1. That's what it's called. Now that we finally got that finished, I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up with Motul 5.1. It is actually compatible with our cars. It is not .5. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. I'm gonna go ahead, pour this in there. I'm gonna go ahead and put like 2.5, just in case. Alright, now we're gonna put this back on there. It says you want to pump this to about 15 psi. Try to make sure this line is not having too many air bubbles coming in. Alright, so we're about 15 psi. I'm gonna go ahead and try and start off with the rear driver's side caliper. So right now, I'm pretty much just going to bleed the system, even though I forgot to take out the extra stuff that's in the reservoir. You start off with this, you take off this little bleeder cap, and then you put this hose on top of there, and then you just you loosen this up with the 10mm wrench. Let all the bubbles and and nastiness just accumulating there. Alright, I think we're almost done. This looks pretty much clear. I think we're good. Alright, I'm gonna tighten this up and put this air bubble try to like go back in there. Alright, so now that this is pretty much finished and it's all like clear looking, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. Ooh. And I'm going to pour the rest of this into the old bottle of brake. Alright guys, so I pretty much finished up bleeding all 3 brakes. I have that last one on the front passenger side. I ran into the issue, I kid you not, of my Milwaukee dying. So my Milwaukee impact gun would not actually work because I don't have a charger and the battery died. So I ran into the issue of trying to take this wheel off. Well, I decided I would try it. I got my breaker bar right here. This is just like a snap-on breaker bar, and try to remove the wheels while the wheels are in the air. So technically the wheel is spinning and I was forcing these lug nuts off. So I got all the lug nuts loose, and I'm about to finally finish the last brake caliper. Alright, so this is my first time ever bleeding the brakes out. It wasn't actually too hard with this bleeder kit that my friend let me borrow. It's been pretty simple as long as you have the bleeder and you do all the steps in order. So right now I'm taking off this last wheel, and then we should be finished bleeding all the brakes, and then I'm gonna move on to the clutch fluid. Alright, so pretty much finished with all the brake fluid. I'm going to slowly release some pressure. Alright, here we go. I still have some leftover brake fluid in here. I might use that for my clutch fluid when I go ahead and do that next. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this cap off the reservoir. I'm gonna go ahead and get some gloves while I'm at it. I bought 2 small gloves, and I find ways to fit it in, even if it's tight. So now I'm trying to freaking take this thing off. There we go. Alright, we got it off. I'm gonna wipe this off, take this pump out of here. I have some extra fluid in there. Oh, it's actually at the maximum level amount. That is crazy. Okay, we are done with that. Filter back on. Hopefully I can find the filter. Alright, filter is back on. Go ahead and put this cap back on. Alright, cap is on. Filter is done. Brake fluid is changed. Now, alright, so right now I'm gonna go ahead and change my clutch fluid. You guys cannot really see it, but it looks like complete crap. So I went ahead and took the top off, and now I'm gonna go under the car and take you guys with me to loosen up that bolt. I have the Zspeed CSC Delete CMAK kit. I have the version 1, not the version 2. So I'm gonna go under there and loosen the bolt, and then we're going to let this fluid gravity bleed, and then I put some more fluid in there and tighten everything, and then start pumping the clutch, and hopefully it works. Alright, so right here is the valve, and I believe as soon as I start loosening this bolt, the clutch fluid will start spewing out of there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab my water bottle that has like this hose right here. I'm gonna put this on the valve. There's not a lot of hose, so I'm gonna try to fit these holes in here. Alright, cool. Gonna put that on top of the valve. I think that's on there good enough. Hopefully it starts gravity bleeding. If not, then I got the wrong bolt, but I feel like that is the bolt to get to start gravity bleeding. Oh no! Where is it? What? Okay, so the clutch fluid is definitely spewing out of here, but it is spewing out the wrong. Alright guys, we finally got an 8mm wrench. We're gonna go ahead and try to bleed the clutch fluid. completely loosen it, but we're about to finish the rest of it. Oh God! Oh God! It did it again. I am finally doing it right. Okay, my clutch fluid is disgusting looking. Now we got it on this bottom. Okay, while that is bleeding out, I'm gonna go ahead and pour Motul 5.1 in here. Well, it is gravity bleeding. I washed it and there are some bubbles going through, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue pouring. I am trying to close the valve again. So from the looks of it, the fluid is starting to get clear. So I'm gonna close this valve before I start to bubble up. Okay, I think I tightened it enough. Okay. So I just tightened the valve. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's pretty much been flushed. Okay. Valve is closed. Nothing's dripping. We're gonna pump the clutch. Hopefully everything is working. Okay, everything seems good. All right, my fluid looks pretty much clean. It's almost at the max line, just a little bit more fluid. It'll be good. My brake fluid looks good. All that's left now is you have to change the pads on all 4 calipers and we'll be done. This is how bad my clutch fluid was. It was burnt. All right guys, I finally finished doing the brake fluid and the clutch fluid. So this is my first time ever doing both of these things. I've never done brake fluid on a car. I've never done clutch fluid on a car. I've never changed brake pads on a car. I haven't done any of these things. This is all my first time doing all this stuff. I did look at a couple of tutorials online and such, and got a little bit of help from friends. So like a mixture of like a bunch of information, and just kind of did this on my own. It's kind of crazy that I'm like in the moment, like doing all these things. Like I've always told myself I wanted to track Raven, my 370Z. Ever since I bought the car, I always wanted to do this. I still can't believe I'm doing this. Honestly, I kind of got pushed by a couple of friends to do this. They've always been talking to me about this. I know a couple of people that have tracked their 370Zs as well. All of this is just a lot of emotions and feelings and such, and I just feel like I want to share it with you guys and take you guys on this journey with me to track my car. So all I have left to do is change the brake pads. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out. None of this is actually supposed to be a tutorial. It's more so me just taking you guys with me on my journey to tracking my 370Z. There's plenty of tutorials out there that tell you how to change your brake pads and all that. I just wanted to show you guys my experience getting my car ready for Sebring. I've never gone on a track before ever, other than like a quarter-mile drag strip event or an 1/8 mile. That's nothing, but like going on a real course and doing all this is crazy. I've done a little bit of sim racing, which is basically, as it sounds, it is basically a simulator of a racetrack. I did a simulator of Sebring. I did it in a Miata, so it gave me a good map of how Sebring is gonna be when I'm on the track actually. But we didn't have like the 360 view or anything like that, so there's no like peripheral vision, and it can't really feel how the car really feels like because there's no G-forces in the simulator. But I did get a sense of how things are gonna be at Sebring, so hopefully on Sunday when I'm finally able to drive the car, everything will be good. I just wanted to show you guys my experience, this journey of me getting ready for Sebring. So hopefully you guys will stick to it. This isn't supposed to be like an install video or nothing. I just want to share my experiences with you guys and everything.